G'day mates, it's the Doctor here, and today what we're going to do is taking a look at some of my most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I have in my collection. So, these are from, like, the most unique rarities, or collector's sake, or unique printings, so let's just get into it right away. So, I'm going to be showing a lot of stories with these cards that I have in this binder, whether it's for competitive use and, like I said, collector's sake. So, starting with, well, the Sign a Dragon page, but I do have to show you the differences in the gold rarity. So, Herald of Arclight is in maximum gold rarity, or premium gold from, well, the maximum gold set, and Black Rose Dragon is from premium gold 3? Premium gold, I don't know what the L stands for, but yeah, you can look at the difference that people often criticize gold rarity, which you expect would be the best rarity. It just looks kind of messy, isn't it? Like, it's really dark. But this one is much more clear, isn't it? And you can even, you know, rub your finger on the artwork and the levels. It just looks like actual gold, unlike, well, the gold rarity we got. So I don't think we'll be seeing this rarity making a comeback. Funny that it worked out that way. So, people don't like gold rarity. Well, we're going to do a better gold rarity. Weird, isn't it? But now we're going to take a look at the differences in Ultimate Rares. So, as we can see, this is Power Tool Dragon from the set it came from, Raging Battle. Kind of a generic name. But we have Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend from DOCS, which is from an Arc 5 set. It's not Dark Illusion, no. Yeah, if anyone knows that, because I'm not too familiar with the Arc 5 era, but yeah. Anyway, as you can see the differences here, the borders are have the ultimate rare foiling, and the actual monster itself is untouched, but you know, it's not the case with Power Tool Dragon, so it's just weird, isn't it, seeing the differences in the printings for ultimate rares over the years. So yeah, which version do you guys prefer? I really want to know. And let's move right along with the rest of the collection that I have here. So, as you can see, there's Ancient Fairy Dragon, Stardust, Shooting Star, and even a secret rare Red Dragon Archfiend. I think I'll just show that off. So yeah, not for too long, because, well, there's a lot of cards to get through. And we're already 3 minutes in. So, on this page, in honor of the Cyberdarks getting their own structure deck, have some Cyberdark cards, even the original printings for Horn, Keel, but not Edge, which ironically Edge is the better of the Cyberdarks. Because with Cyberdark Keel, I'll just show off Cyberdark Dragon, but Cyberdark Keel is just the worst of them, because all three of them rely on doing damage in some way. With Keel, it's just inflicting 300 damage. Like, what about destroy a card, or even milling a card from your opponent's deck? Yeah, but yeah, just look at this older super rare printing. Yeah, it's funny that someone just happened to have a super rare Cyberdark Dragon, so I might as well take that. Now we have Citadel Whale, and we have one with the blue printing in the title, and another with just, well, the regular ultra rare printing. And the magic card, Legendary Ocean. But, gosh, what did you guys think when they first announced these alternate colored ultra rares, which I think is fantastic from a collector's standpoint, and having a reason to, you know, have playsets aside from just consistency. It just looks better. I'm so surprised that Konami did something like this. But now we have these two Kokomo Maximus. So what's the difference between these two? Is, well, this one was the first ultimate rare I ever got, and this one over here is a misprint. And also the second copy of Maximus, which I did let my friend Greiken borrow for his I can't remember the name. Fossils. Yeah, of course. That was a basic name. How can I forget Fossils? So we'll have a good look. at the differences here. So as you can see, the attribute is off-center. Same with the levels. And even the borders on the card artwork is off-center. It's funny when misprints happen. But yeah, Kokomo Maximus was the first Ultimate Rare I got. Not from a pull, just bought it on its own, but still looked sick. And of course, you know, it's Xenomorph with wings. See, that's what happens when Xenomorphs drink Red Bull. Now we have Golden Century, and what's the purpose of Golden Century in here? Is that it was one of the first cards I ever got. Weird, isn't it? Along with Vampire Orchis, Necomane King, and Desdendo, which also goes with Vampire Orchis, or Orchid, I don't know what the word is. Now we have the Ghost Rare, Heart Earth Dragon, which used to be my boss monster with Mermails, because they had the field spell Lemuria, where you could increase the levels to 9, and yeah, it was pretty easy to bring out 3 level 9s. Well, not that easy, but with Chronomally Machu Mech, I remember... Actually, I just realized it now, that it was when I was playing Kokomorus, but with this card, it happened to me at a tournament where he was playing Gargagas, and summoned this thing, used it on Maximus, and knocked me out in 1 turn. It was an FDK move, where Chronomally Machu Mech's effect is target a monster your opponent controls, inflict damage equal to its attack, and then it gains that attack. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy card. Not so much today, although I think it can still find some use. It's a generic rank 3, not 3, 5. It's got 5 black stars. So, hey, with Cyber Dragons, maybe it could be used in that. And now we have Mermail Abysslacia, which you might remember I pulled it from the Chaos Impact opening that I did. And I'm so happy to pull it. Which, speaking of Chaos Impact, is where I pulled the secret rare Signet Mining. So now we have a bunch of Silas cards. But, yeah, surprisingly, I didn't have to sell an arm and a leg to get Signet Mining. That's what someone actually asked me. And I also pulled 2 from the Dual Overload. Yes, that's what it was called, with Crystal Needle Fiber, which I didn't pull, but I didn't have to pay for these cards. I just pulled them. And then there's Microcoder, which I'm so happy to actually have this card because it's so good in the Code Talker deck. Just search for any Signet spell traps, particularly Signet Conflict, which is a Solemn Judgment to negate and banish. And all you need is to control a Code Talker monster like Transcode Talker, and it's so easy to activate. And then we have Infinity Impermanence, and the funny story with Infinity Impermanence, not this version, but I actually did pull first edition Secret from Flames of Destruction, the original set it came from, and I sold it for $90 I think it was at the time, and I spent that $90 on Crystal Bond because Crystal Bond was $40, so I still had $10 left, or maybe I paid the $10 for shipping. But I thought Infinity Impermanence was just stupid, because why would you use this card over something like Breakthrough Skill, which at the time I was playing World Chalice. And with that deck, there is a way of milling Breakthrough Skill, and you can banish Breakthrough Skill from your graveyard to negate opponent's monster effect. So in a way, it's a card that negates your opponent's monster's effect twice. But yes, I do see the value in Infinity Impermanence now. And speaking of pack openings, Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf was a card that I pulled from... which set was it? I don't remember. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It's a bit hard holding this binder. SAST, I don't remember. Well, anyway, when I did pull it, I figured that I might as well build Salamangreat, because as Cybers, I'd like to be Cybers to be competitive, and it may not be exactly the computer-looking monsters. It could still synergize with, cards like Transcode Talker, and I don't remember what else there were at the time, because Microcoder wasn't introduced until later, and by then Salmon Grades got hit. Which, by the way, I will do a deck profile on Salmon Grades at some point. However, will we get Mirage Stalio back, or even Gazelle to 2, Circle to 2? Because that was the thing with, like, I wanted to do an update on my Salmon Grade deck, but, you know, the ban list kept changing, like, Lady Debug was limited, Gazelle and Circle got hit, and now we have, let's just move on. Kind of a long story, maybe I should save it for a deck profile. Call by the Grave is one of the best spell cards in the game. It should not be at 1. I strongly protest that this card should be at 3, as long as Ash Blossom's still in the game, but, you know, they had to hit this card because, well, there's no lolly in this card, am I right? Like, that's why they won't ban Ash Blossom. Like, they made freaking sleeves for Ash Blossom. Are you kidding me? And wasn't it also the cover of, Dual Devastator, I think? Nonsense. Absolutely nonsensical. Now with the Cybers cards, here are some evolutionary forms, like there's Backup Secretary, Cybers Wizard, and a Firewall Dragon there. But with Access Code Talker, you might remember that I talked about it, well, but I talked about pulling triple tactical talents, I'm losing my words, sorry, and I traded triple tactical talents for an Access Code Talker. Even though it's going to be reprinted in the Megatins, I've had so many victories with this card. And maybe I should try and find a way to make it work with Update Gemma, which is what some people do use, I'm well aware of it. But with my deck, because Update Gemma requires 2 level 2 or higher monsters, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be level 2 or higher, so I can't use Microcode Talker. I can't use any Link monsters for it, because it requires monsters with levels. And, yeah. So there's some evolutions of Firewall Dragons. There's the baby version, the original version, pre-errata, and Darkflu, which I still proclaim should be called Firewall Error Dragon, because banning Firewall was a huge error. And there we have Crystal Bond with the Emerald text. So that's this is the 3rd copy that I bought. In the same set with Citadel Whale, the Legendary Duelist Season 1 it was called. And I'll pull out this secret rare, Rainbow Dragon, that I've had for a while. And boy, does that look pretty. Again, it's just an older printing of the card. Like, it looks darker. It doesn't look, you know, too clean. Like, if it's... I think with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that they're so clean looking now, they're almost fake? Maybe that's just me, but what do you guys think of the printing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards over the years? The Zexal era in particular was when they were the brightest. But they also had the most unique secret rares. I think the secret rares, ironically, might have been the best looking. But anyway, here's a Winkaribo level 10 that I happened to find online for $15 or $20. So for a first edition ultra rare, I think that's pretty cheap, although what are the odds of summoning this thing? We probably would have had more cards to summon this card if, you know, we got the Karibo structure deck, which you might remember was a voting poll in Japan only. And one of the cards they listed was like Karibo. And, you know, we got plenty of Karibo cards. We could have gotten an errata version of Detonate, where it doesn't have to be Karibo or Karibo tokens. It could be any Curry monster. You know, there's Transcendent Wings as well. And a few other... Well, there's all spell cards on this page, like Golden Castle of Stromberg. Who would have thought this would have been printed from the anime? And it was so weird that it was like the toughest card to pull from Battles of Legend or whatever the set was called when it first came out. And now it's easier because they reprinted it. Just like how they're going to reprint Utopia with Astral Language in the Xyz Overflow structure deck, whatever it's called that's coming out in Japan. And you know, there's a Prismatic Raigeki. Looks awesome. And over here, some of the Egyptian god cards. And yes, this is what I was saying with the Zexal era secret rares. So there's a secret rare Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon. Let's focus on that. Let's compare it with another GX secret rare, the Evil Dragon Anatar. So have a good look at these cards and tell me what you think. So this is a darker printing, and this is the Zexal lighter printing, but there's something unique how they designed their secret rares in the Zexal era. Like, yeah, that's a good comparison. Like, there's more beams coming through, you know? More rays of light. Like, secret rares are always sparkling, but the Zexal secret rares look like they have beams. Which do you think is better? And, you know, I do like to talk to you guys in the comments. Whatever it might be on, if you have a criticism that you want to share with me, let me know if there might be something wrong with my deck profiles or something. Or maybe you have a story with the cards that you like to collect. Like the reactor cards, so Trap Reactor, Spell Reactor, Summon Reactor. I remember they were a pain back in the day. And together they form Flying Fortress Skyfire. I wonder if we'll get more of these reactor cards. Wouldn't be surprised. Because anything can get support, like Sacred Phoenix of all things, Thunder Dragon of all things became its own archetype. Yep, there's Salamangreat Fire and Violet Chimera, which I didn't really get to try out these two cards at tournaments. Because, you know, who plays Salamangreat anymore? Like, they're sort of making a resurgence. I don't know. Yeah, it would help if we got Circle and Gazelle to 2. Anyway, one can only hope. We have Creature Swap, Creature Seizure, which Creature Seizure is basically an unlimited version of Creature Swap, but you just need to control a normal monster instead. So you could use this with Blue Eyes, or Heroes, or, well, Chalice. Or even Tokens. And just give it to your opponent and, you know, go from there. We have a Ghost Rare Shark Drake Vice, which will probably go down as the best opening I ever did with the Abyss Rising Special Edition. Then there's Chaos number 69, the Heraldry Crest of Horror. Which, I don't know, DEATH. Is that a bad word for YouTube? Oh my gosh, it's so sensitive, you know? The YouTube algorithm is so sensitive. Now we have number 16, Shockmaster. This is a V-Jump promo that I pulled, which, there's also Acid Golem, but unfortunately with Acid Golem, it was on the floor one day, and, well, when I moved my chair, I accidentally, crushed it. I'm not happy. Trust me, I'm not happy. But what's really special about the Jump promos is that they were only in America, so it's like I had a rare card. They're only available in America. And even then, it was V-Jump promo, so it was very limited. And I think it was the same thing with Elemental Hero Stratos, that Stratos is nostalgic for many people for that reason alone. It was just a very hard card to find. And that's how I felt with Shockmaster and Acid Golem. And it's similar to with Black Ship of Corn, that it was a manga promo. Whoops. And it's a shame they stopped doing the manga versions of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, like they stopped with Arc 5 and we never got Reigns, which, of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime that needed a manga version, like an alternate storyline, we needed a manga version of Reigns with Firewall Dragon or anything. Or who knows, maybe because the banning of Firewall Dragon was why they had to cancel the manga. Moving right along, we have the 2 Morphing Jars. Very creepy looking cards. And here we have some of the trap cards, like Mirror Force. Such an iconic card. And maybe it's not that bad in today's world of dueling, because, well, quite often I don't face people with back row removal. So maybe I might as well run Mirror Force. It's not like they're going to hit it with a MST or Twin Twisters. Or I suppose they put in their side decks. And then we have some of the Solemn cards, Solemn Strike, Judgment, Warning, Solemn Wishes, which they're all God in the OCG version, like God's Warning, God's Judgment. And we have a ultra rare Horn of Heaven, so one of a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards that actually have Heaven in the name. But it's a little bit dented, unfortunately. And oh boy, it's 20 minutes already. Let's get out these two cards. These are only available in Japan. So they're the only Japanese cards I have, but ooh, so happy to own these cards. These are 20th anniversary secret rares of the Arrival at Ignister and Podship Whale, however the OCG name was, because in the English version it is what is it? Whoops, I moved the camera a bit. Amphibious Swarmship Ambler Whale. Podship Whale just sounds better. So just look at the difference. Just look at that. Now I did show off this card, the Arrival, in my Eternity Code opening. That was a set with Access Code Talker on the cover. And I didn't know how to focus the camera at the time. All you got to do is just tap the screen. I wish I knew that. So, yeah, that should be nice and clear now. And you can even see the logo right there. Yu-Gi-Oh! 20th Anniversary. If only we got that for the TCG. But, you know, Konami is really upping their... not secret rares, just rarities in general, like ghost rares, giving a reason for people to buy the products aside from just the cards. Like, we want these collector's items, like the 10,000 Dragon card. Now we have the structure deck cards, like Ocean Dragon Lord, Day Dayless, and I think it got an errata, didn't it? Where you have to tribute the pre-evolution of it, Leviathan Dragon. Then we have Simorgh, Burn of Divinity, and Guildford the Legend. So this is actually a near mint version of Guildford the Legend I have. I do have the original version I have, and what happened was one morning, I went to turn off my alarm, but I knocked over a glass of water that I had, and it spilled on some of the cards, and one of them was Guildford the Legend, so pretty upset with that. It's weird that I have it, but yeah, if you want to know what a Yu-Gi-Oh card would look like under spilled water, well, here you go. Ouch. So I'll just show off Apollosa, the Bow Goddess. If it would focus, please. Yeah, so there's a secret rare, which I did buy only for the fact that I think Mirage Daily got hit at the time, or maybe it was a Circle and Gazelle for my Salmon Great deck. And it was, I remember on the website they were selling it, it was dropping down like 10 prices, I mean $10 every couple of days. So it was 120, then it dropped to 100, then it dropped to 80, I think I paid for it. The only time I actually used Apollosa, funny enough, is when the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade combo was around, and that was with like Tempest Magician, I think. And I was able to negate it just because Apollosa is not once per turn. So it worked out. I was able to stop a broken Yu-Gi-Oh combo. Now, I did try to look for the original artwork of Offerings to the Doomed, because this is the Lost Art promo, which I don't think any of the stores around me actually celebrate or sell the Lost Art cards. I wish they did. But, you know, just having one of them makes it more valuable. But yeah, I wish I had the original TCG artwork to show in comparison, like, what the difference is. Because as you can see, it's like the altar at a church with a kettle and wine. Oh, there's no bread, funny enough. Now we have something completely opposite of the church, the Infernal Incinerator. A very cool looking card, but a terrible effect and terrible summoning condition. Now, I do have to show you guys this special Elemental Hero Wildheart. So this was pretty cheap, but this is a terrible misprint because it has secret rare writing, but it has super rare foiling. Now, I didn't dent it already. This is probably why it was only $2 when I got it from the shops. And yeah, it's got secret rare writing, but it has super rare foiling. Like, what kind of misprint is that? Wow. I wonder if it was in perfect condition, like how much would it be then? Now we have Volcanic Doomfire, one of the best looking Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever, except in the anime it was super small. Why? Why was it such a shrimp? Because that's like the size of a kaiju. And then Necro Gardener is just awesome, which I thought it was awesome back in the day. A little dated now. Just banish it from the graveyard to negate an attack. Imperial Custom for the Volcanic deck that I have, in order to protect your continual strap cards, and then summon Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames. Now, you might be wondering why Poison Chain of all things is here. It's because it was the first Fiend deck that ever ran. Poison Chain. No, Iron Chains was the archetype. And that was around the time when Light Swarms were in their prime, so not good, not good. Now we have Tribe Infecting Virus, which should be reprinted if we're gonna take a card off a ban list, like the actual banned section of the ban list. Then we have Maxi. I don't know how to feel about this card. Like, I have 2 in here, so if it was to come off, like, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to run Maxi. I mean, the only way they would take it off is if we had Call by the Grave at 3, to make it a little bit fair. Because there's so many hand traps in the game. Seal of Wickedness I thought was a cool card where you could just select the monster and negate its effects, but it's one of those dated cards, unfortunately.